My wife yelled, "You report to him now," pointing at her work husband. "Apologize or leave," I nodded. "Okay." Next morning, she smirked. "Regret it yet?" Then she saw my key card on the table and her own trust lawyer burst in screaming, "Ma'am, please tell me he didn't resign." Okay, so this happened last month and I'm still processing it all. My wife Sarah and I had been married for 8 years. She ran her own consulting firm and I worked as the operations manager. Things were good until she hired this guy named Tyler about 2 years ago. At first, I didn't think much of it, but slowly I noticed she started mentioning him constantly. Tyler thinks this. Tyler suggested that they'd text during dinner. She'd laugh at her phone while I was talking. Classic stuff. Then came the dinner that changed everything. We were sitting at our favorite Italian place when she casually dropped the bomb between bites of pasta. "Starting Monday, you'll report to Tyler. He's your new supervisor." I just stared at her. Tyler was the guy who once asked me if Excel was that green calculator thing, and now he was my boss. She didn't even blink, just kept eating like she'd asked me to pass the salt. Then she looked at Tyler, who was sitting across from us. Yeah, he was at our dinner, and smiled. "We make a great team, don't we?" That's when she turned back to me. "You've been distant lately. Apologize to Tyler for your attitude, or pack your things and leave." I sat there for maybe 10 seconds. Didn't argue, didn't yell, just nodded once and said, "Okay." She actually relaxed like she'd won some game, but she didn't notice that I hadn't touched my food. She didn't notice I was still wearing my jacket. She didn't notice my work bag was already gone. By the time she went to bed that night, I was already pulling out of the driveway with a thick black folder in the passenger seat. See, here's what Sarah didn't know. Her father had set up a family trust years ago to protect assets. When we got married and she started her company, we folded everything into that trust for tax reasons. But Sarah never read the paperwork carefully. I was listed as the primary trustee, not a co-signer. The trustee. That meant I had discretionary control over the assets. And there was a clause. If I resigned under contested circumstances, it would trigger a full review and freeze everything until a new trustee was appointed. The next morning, Sarah was all smiles, hair done, power suit on, humming while making coffee. She even took a selfie for Instagram with some caption about fresh starts. Then she saw it. My employee key card sitting on the kitchen counter. Next to it, a note on hotel stationery. "Tell your lawyer I'm done." She literally laughed, called it melodramatic. Then the doorbell rang. It was her trust lawyer, Marcus. He was actually running up our driveway. His tie was crooked and he was out of breath. "Ma'am," he gasped, "please tell me he didn't resign." That's when her face changed. Marcus explained everything. By resigning, I'd frozen the entire trust. The house, trust property, her business accounts, folded into the trust, her company equity, trust protected. All of it locked until the board appointed a new trustee. And that board was headed by her father. Within hours, the audit team showed up at her office. Turns out all those cozy moments with Tyler, the conference trips, the work husband jokes, the touching his face in security footage created a massive liability issue. By Wednesday, she was suspended pending investigation. By Thursday, the house locks were changed. The property had reverted to her father's control. By Friday, she was formally removed from her own company. Tyler, he stopped answering her texts immediately. The final twist came last week. I got one last payment from the trust. My final commission, about $200,000. I donated every penny to her father's veterans charity in his name. Sarah called me screaming about it. I just said, "You wanted me to learn from Tyler about respect and leadership. I learned from your father instead." She's now living with her sister, locked out of her business, her house, and her trust fund. All because she thought I was too quiet to have a plan. I didn't yell. I didn't fight.